Hello, I'm Danielle Stimpson and Capricorn. These are your tarot cards for September of 2022. This is a very general reading, so I suggest that you check out your sun, moon, and rising signs to get a more complete view of the month ahead. I've used the astrology of the month ahead to help me develop the card spread that I'm using for us today. If you'd like to learn more about it, check out the description. I've created a handy guide and you can go ahead and download that PDF if you like. Also in the description below is more information about my online Reiki classes, as well as my social media, Discord, Crystal Shop, and everything else. If you want to join me for one of my healing live streams, I'm here 5 times a week right here on YouTube. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss an opportunity to hang out and get some healing from whenever and wherever you happen to be. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and see the tarot cards. Okay, so Capricorns, we have, as usual, quite the month ahead. I am a Capricorn sun myself, so I'm with you here. So at the center of our reading, the first card that comes up is the focus of the month, the theme, if you will, and it is the Death card. Now, the Death card is often misunderstood or maligned, but it's a better card than it's not. It's a foregone conclusion that the end was coming, and so this is the cyclical side of death, the ending of one thing to create the space to birth another. It's a sacred rite of passage. It's a major arcana card. It is a very significant time of letting one thing come to its natural end so that something else may rise from those ashes. And we'll see how to best work with that as we continue through. In the starting point, how we're starting off at the beginning of the month is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is, it's definitely a card of, in a way, picking what we do next. Wands are all about action and all about the causes we take up and the actions we make. With the Two of Wands, this is a chance to say we need to make these choices before these choices make us. And so that's where we're starting. So in a lot of ways, we've probably already made those decisions quite recently, leading us to that point of the Death card, or we're right around that point now. So I hope that you took the opportunity to make the decisions that you had to make, be they difficult, be they easy, probably a lot more difficult than easy, even if it was an obvious choice to make. The Two of Wands is definitely about choosing a direction and going with it. In the challenge category here, we have the Judgment card. Judgment card is not to be confused with the Justice card. It's a very different energy. Justice is sort of like justice is blind, the scales, and it's not about our feelings or extenuating circumstances. It's just very cut and dry, black and white. Judgment is a much deeper card. It's about, in a lot of ways, it can be reconciliation. In some ways, it can be a ceremonial parting of ways. Pairing this with the Death card has me looking at this from not just is it an endings and beginnings, it's also Judgment is about wrapping things up in a neat bow. It's about not just saying, okay, things are ended and I'm moving on. It's about coming to a true sense of healing about it. It's forgiving ourselves for any shortcomings and or forgiving others for any shortcomings, even, if it's forgiving them and staying on great terms, or if it's the forgiveness that is more about I forgive you to set myself free, whatever might fit in there. This is about bringing that spiritual and emotionally mature, emotionally evolved energy and actions into the matter so that we really wrap things up so that it feels like it may still be a bittersweet transition, but it's certainly not an open-ended transition. It is understood, learned from, and sort of tucked away as what it was. So that's the challenge, is coming to terms with all of the pieces that are being left behind, the things that are over, the doors and chapters that are now closed. So that's the challenge, which it isn't the hardest thing, but it's not going to be great in the moment. It's okay. But the good news is this leaves very fertile ground for incredibly great fresh new starts, and so does death. It leaves the soil fertile for the next round of crops. It's about making space, things and having their divine timing. So the next card is about lessons and healing. And here we have the 9 of coins. This is personal attainment, reaching personal goals. This is very much an ending in one way, but this is you, and with the next card that we'll get to, this is very much about you stepping into your own and beginning to kind of come out of the shadow of what was to a new level of personal attainment, but not just about like, ooh, I have attained money, but more your accomplishments, what you are known for, being respected for where you are, what you do, and what matters, and in a way that can be very meaningful to you. Yes, this is personal attainment, and I know that the idea of pride is not a good thing when we think about certain types of goals. We don't want to be too prideful. That's not what this is. This is more about you've composted the things that no longer serve, and by doing so, you've basically cleared the stage to stand here and say, okay, now I have more of me to simply be me and bring that forward. The bird here, she's very much, the traditional card would have a whole garden behind her. And it's like, this is my garden. I have cultivated this. Come on in. There's plenty of room. And this is still like very fertile and very natural and serene. This is very much about an individual growing into her own. So regardless of gender, I would say this is a time where you can start to see the lessons that you've learned along the way, that there were no missteps because you made them work for you. The last card is the whispers from your guides, and it's the 8 of coins, which right next to the 9 of coins have an even deeper meaning with one another. This is the mastery card. And what I mean with mastery is we've gone from being the person who is the person who is creating and making and toiling away. It's these many levels of I've learned it so well, I can learn more. I've learned it so well, I can perfect it, I can hone it. This is the level of expert that you're becoming. This is a part of you that is able to teach from the deepest depths. This is a part of you that has such an innate understanding of how everything works together that you can build this very complex arrangement and know precisely how to put the things together. This is very much a celebration too. The 8 of coins isn't about racing to be some kind of mastery or racing to be the learned and the teacher and all of these things. It's more about pulling back a little bit, making more time for you. You have reached this level where you don't have to have your foot firmly pressed on the gas any longer. And in fact, that wouldn't be great. It's a time to kind of take a step back. And this being in the category, by the way, of whispers from your guides, and it's exactly what it sounds like. This is actually saying, well, now that you know how to build the thing and do it really well and really soundly, now is a time to step back and kind of bring your artistry into it. Bring your true vision forward, but also to bring that true vision, step back so you can again sit in that true vision. See how it may have shifted over the years. Spend some time simply enjoying where you are right now, everything you've earned, everything you've attained, and get back into the joy of why you do what you do. It'll give you a whole new boost and new perspective to take that level of mastery and transform it into something even bigger and better that is balanced in your creative and your practical arenas as well. This is a great time to kind of take some time back. Remember, this is a Mercury retrograde month. That's not a bad thing. I always say that it's not a bad thing. Mercury retrograde is about not communicating outwardly because we need to be reflecting inwardly. It's a great time to do that. You kind of came off of some closure of things. the Death card, you're use this month to kind of simmer down, let go of the things, heal a little bit of wounds, get reconnected with the new way that you're going to be moving forward, that you've created and that you've earned, and celebrate yourself, congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, and do some really fun things. Get into your creativity a little bit, and remember to create some new space for you as you continue to grow this thing. Congratulations on all of your hard work, Capricorn. You deserve it. And I know ahead of you, I know that not working hard is a hard thing for us, I know, but do your best to take some time for you. And with that, thank you so much for being here. I do hope that you will come back next month. This is the Fountain Tarot. You can learn more about it in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give a like, subscribe, share, all that good YouTuber stuff. And I do hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful month.